Hey guys, what's up? It's your host Taurus here, and welcome to another episode of 21 Day Hero Show. Today I'm speaking to amazing person, Suze Schwartz, who's the founder of Unplug Meditation. I'm going to tell you all about this in a couple of minutes, but I'm making this special intro to let you know that we had a couple of technical difficulties while speaking with Suze. She's based in LA, I'm based here in Switzerland, so the internet was failing us from time to time, so please bear with us. There are a couple of glitches, but the actual conversation was super awesome, and it's definitely worth it to listen to. So apologies in advance for not perfect audio experience, but like I said, it's definitely worth it. And let's just jump into the conversation right now. All right, everybody. Today we have Suze Yalof Schwartz, who is the founder of the world's first secular and drop-in meditation studio called Unplug Meditation, based in LA. And before founding Unplug, we're gonna find out all about it. Suze had a really successful career as a fashion, working as a executive fashion editor in publications like Glamour and Vogue and so on. So she's really big deal, and she's really one of the pioneers in this kind of nowadays meditation. That's accessible to a lot more people than it was a decade ago. So I can't wait to have this awesome conversation with you, Suze, and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be on your show.
Awesome. I think I'm definitely more excited because you're, like I said, I'm a big fan of you, and I can't wait to talk about your story and what's happening in your life right now and in the studio with the app and stuff like that. So, but firstly, let me ask you a question. So, what do you think is your biggest superpower right now?
Calm. I am able to pause stress the second it happens. That is my biggest superpower.
Oh, that's amazing. So, well, I think you can, but still, can you teach it?
Absolutely. And anyone can do it. In fact, I don't know, I can teach it to you whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I think we actually had this moment just before we started recording. We were like, okay, let's inhale and exhale. I think that was already an introductory class to, just forgetting all the stress.
Yeah, there's a teacher who's my teacher named David G. He's one of the teachers at Unplug Meditation, and he does this incredible 16-second meditation. And in 16 seconds, you will learn how to shift everything. Do you want to try it?
Let's try it. It's 16 seconds.
Okay.
Amazing.
So this is how he teaches it, and I'll do it the same way. Close your eyes. And I want you to think about something that stresses you out. Raise your hand when you feel it. You got it? Okay, great. You can put your hand down. And now I want you to just breathe in through your nose for the count of 4. I'll count 2, 3, 4, and hold your breath for 4 seconds. And an audible exhale out for 4 seconds. Breath there for 4 seconds. Now open your eyes. You can open your eyes now. Were you thinking about that thing that stressed you out?
I wasn't. I was trying to remember what that thing was.
Yeah, it's a superpower.
Yes.
So people knew that they could interrupt that pattern before being reactive to other people by just stopping and counting and breathing. It would change everything.
That's amazing. So actually, I heard this many times before, like, whenever you feel stressed or you feel angry, take a step back, breathe in, breathe out. But it kind of really never worked for me when I'm in a really high stress, I'm just too stressed. But I think this particular method with like a 4-second pause there and at the end, I think that's like this little trick that could make a difference.
Yeah, well, you just say, I just need 16 seconds when that happens. Yeah. And you take 16 seconds for yourself, because everybody has 16 seconds, right?
Of course. Of course. All right, so already we started the show. We're just a couple of minutes in, and I think we already have so much value. We could end the show right now. All right, ciao. Awesome, Suze. So I kind of, don't want to bother you with asking you tell us about your story, because I'm very sure you told this, thousands of times on all the shows and all the magazines you've been into, too. But give us, maybe a little brief. Now you've been telling the story so many times, but give us a little brief. Who are you, what you do, and how did you end up in the place where you are now?
It's so funny. My friend who owns a publicity firm just started this company called What's Catnip. And your catnip is you being able to tell your story in under 60 seconds.
Amazing.
And that's very difficult thing to do. And I literally just did it for her. And you can see it on her. It's not up yet, but What's Your Catnip on Instagram. But this is what I learned from her from doing that exercise. And of course, I don't ever want to tell the same story 100,000 times. So I'm going to kind of simplify my story in a different way. It's true. I was a fashion editor. I worked at Vogue, Elle, Claire and Glamour magazine for over 2 decades, covering the world of fashion. I loved it. It was a great job. And at the end of that, I focused primarily the last 14 years on makeovers. Do you know what a makeover is?
Sort of.
Okay, I would literally grab people off the beach in Miami, and I would tell them to take their bathing suits off, put on another bathing suit, we'd do their hair, we'd put their makeup on, we'd have them stand in a certain angle, and we would make them look like, taller, thinner, skinnier, better, great hair. We'd take the best photograph of them that they've ever had in their entire life.
So you kind of Photoshopped them in real life. Right.
We did not. Yeah, we didn't Photoshop. We just literally used these top talented people to make them look incredible. Yeah. And I realized when I was doing that I can make anyone look incredible on the outside, but if you don't feel good on the inside, you don't look good on the outside. So for instance, when we did these makeovers in Miami, I realized some of the women who were a size 24W were 100 times more gorgeous than the size 4 girls because they had more confidence, they were happier, and they were just owning it. Yeah. And I didn't really realize that until the other day that's what it is. It's about feeling good on the inside and having that come through on the outside. And so now that is my intention. That's my goal, is to help people feel good on the inside and not have to worry about all these things that make no sense, which is the future, something they can't control, or the past, something that happened. We're in the present moment. So my goal is to help people enjoy the present moment because it's really the only moment that we have. And I didn't come to meditation because I thought, let me start a meditation company. I was happy in my career as a fashion editor. But my husband was wanted to move to Los Angeles with our 3 kids. And I said I would do it. He had a great job offer. It was a change of life. He wanted to do something adventurous. And I was like, you know what? Why not? So I came here thinking I was going to stay in fashion. And I ended up discovering my spirituality again and switching over to this industry where I realized, I wanted to meditate, but there was no place to go to learn how to meditate. But big time commitment, or it was very expensive. So I Googled places where to meditate in Los Angeles. And the more places that I went to, the more I realized there's got to be an easier and better way to do it. And that's when I came up with that concept of the dry bar of meditation, which is a blowout bar in America. And literally you walk in feeling icky and you walk out feeling great in 30 minutes. And I'm like, I want to do that for meditation. Yeah. So I hired the best teachers in the entire country. And we started running classes and people went crazy. And then people were flying in from everywhere, from Switzerland, from Japan, from China, we have people coming from everywhere in the world to experience it. And they were all asking me the same thing. How do I bring this to my country, or how can I do this at home? And that's when we decided. So after all these people were trying to come and learn how to meditate, they wanted to bring it to their country. So I said, you should easily try it with our app. So now we have all of our teachers online. So you can meditate with any of our teachers from your phone.
Amazing. And the app is called simply Unplug Meditation, or?
It's called Unplug Guided Meditation.
Unplug Guided Meditation.
Yep.
Got it. So I'm gonna definitely put the links, in the description of this video and the show notes of the podcast for everybody to download. It's the one actually I tried also myself because I'm a daily meditator also. Great. And I tried most of the apps out there, and it's definitely in my top 3. Oh, so I try to switch from time to time because I like the diversity it brings from the teachers. I feel like I'm visiting different teacher kind of every week or every day,
Yeah,
which is
that's
which.
what Unplug is like. A lot of the meditation apps are one teacher, one way, but we basically do all different teachers and we cover everything from mindfulness, guided imagery, aromatherapy, crystal healing, breath work, sound baths. I mean, we really explore everything.
Amazing, amazing. So all right. So you spent almost 2 decades in fashion, and then you moved to this. How I read on Wikipedia, you became a spiritual entrepreneur.
Correct.
But today, do you still have any ties with fashion? Like, do you still, or is this like that chapter is closed? That's it.
Well, I think meditation is a lot like fashion. It's constantly changing. There's always new trends. There's stars like, and it's funny is Donna Karan. I don't know if you know who that is, but Donna Karan is a huge fashion designer in America. She loves meditation so much that now we're bringing our teachers inside of her stores across America. So we're at the Urban Zen stores now, and it's been pretty incredible. Also, I used to do a lot of television when I worked for Glamour, and now I'm doing a lot of television, but talking about meditation. So, and another connection between fashion and meditation is that in some of our guided imagery sessions, you can literally imagine yourself in your ideal life. And usually I'm wearing a really good outfit.
All right. That's true. I mean, we can definitely see that already now. For those who are watching this on YouTube, if you guys are listening to this on iTunes, go tune in this podcast. Suze looks amazing. What is? I mean, you've been in meditation now for how long? You've been meditating.
I mean, I've been working in the isness, which is what we call it, not the business, the isness.
Isness, all right.
For about 5 years now. Unplug, the studio has been open for a little over 4 years. And now, but I've been on it for like 6 years.
Got it. And so what is, what was meditation for you at the beginning and what it is for you now? Like, how did you see your practice and understanding and connection to meditation and the practice develop throughout these years?
It's interesting. I am the kind of person that likes to go to the food court and eat at all the different stations. So I've tried every single kind of meditation, and there are certain meditations where you just do that one and you stick with that one and you're one and done. I'm not that kind of person. So for me, my practice is always evolving. I always like to switch it up. So now I'm really into sound healing. I'm into crystals. I never was into crystals before. Aromatherapy, it's like a new love of mine. And I wasn't doing that before, but it's like, I love to explore anything that's new, anything that's interesting. And ultimately for me, it's always the exact same thing. I sit here, I center myself, I connect with my breath, I let it go, I experience the present moment, 100% awareness. My mind starts thinking, because we all think in meditation. That's the number one biggest myth. People think they can't meditate because they think too much. What they don't realize is that thinking is actually really good in meditation. So how has it evolved? I thought it was just going to be mindfulness and mantra-based meditation when I started. I didn't even know about aromatherapy meditation, sound healing meditation, all these different breath work. I've learned about all these new things and I've fallen in love with all of them. So it's just kind of whatever the flavor of the day that I'm interested in is the practice that I do.
Got it. Yeah, no, I've tried the sound, the sound healing meditation a couple of months back. It was for 1 hour. Was in Bali, and this is probably one of the most kind of the practice that touched me the most, right? That I connected the most, right? Maybe it's also because of the length. I feel like the longer you meditate, you also get a little bit deeper than doing just 10 minutes every day, which is totally fine. But I like when it's longer sometimes. So the one of the sound I really like, especially the vibration, especially when they come with these like metal bowls and sort of like do this circle
Right.
actions to create those vibration next to your head, this is when it's like really going to the, next level. It was fun. Yeah. But I understand you. So,
Yeah. You know what's really cool is they have this thing where you take that bowl, imagine putting it on top of your head
okay.
and donging your head, and the vibration goes all over your body. And that's called a sound shower. And it's like next level. Gotta try that.
It's like a scene from Tom and Jerry, like they put it on top. All right.
And by the way, like there are places that I'm obsessed with where you stand inside of a bowl and then they put a bowl on your head and then they walk around you playing the bowl. So you feel the vibration of sound everywhere. And it's like a massage without touch.
It's true. It's something like that. Exactly. Yeah. So I think, I think like like you said, you like to, change. You don't stick to one type for too long. You like to try different things and so on. So I think that's awesome. And that's probably also what you need, right? Like we need these new stimulations for our brain to reconnect to, what we do and to understand it differently. Because if we, doing the same thing, like exactly same thing for a long period of time, I think, we get to kind of becomes too automatic. So the mindfulness becomes automatic, which I think is opposite of being mindful.
Which is also good.
Yeah.
I have to say that in defense of all kinds of meditation, there's no such thing as a bad meditation. One of our teachers, Megan Moynihan, always says, the only thing that's a bad meditation is the one you don't do.
Yeah.
So I always admire the people that can do one meditation, like, TM or, mantra-based meditation and stick with it forever. I mean, I think that's incredible. For me, just variety is my spice of life. And there's so many different kinds to try that's what keeps me going.
Mm-hmm, got it. So tell us one or, a few success stories that, in the last 6 years while you were in business, you've seen, you've seen over the years. What are the biggest success stories you've noticed, and how meditation transformed somebody's life?
Oh, I mean, there's just so many. I'm so lucky because I get to actually hang out with these people.
Yeah.
I would say, like, for me, the biggest success story that's happened to me is to be able to pop my social bubble. So when I first started this business, I, hung out with mostly fashion people. And, I hung out with people I felt attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
But when I first opened up Unplug, my first customer had tattoos from the bottom of his ankle all the way to the top of his neck. And I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And he turned out to be my absolute favorite client and a really close friend. So my issue was I was able to pop my own judgmental bubble and open up myself to an entire world of amazing people that I just was not seeking out before. So I get to meet all these incredible people. The success stories that blow me away, I mean, I'll tell you my top 5. Right. One is this girl, Emily Ratner, who came to Unplug because she had in vitro fertilization 3 times and it didn't work. And the 4th try was going to be her last try. And her doctor said, you need to meditate. You need to stop working. And she found Unplug online, came to our studio 2 times a day for 2 weeks. And she literally credits her baby to Unplug. She got pregnant and had a baby. So we think of it as our baby. But she credits us. I mean, I don't know if it would have happened, but it's pretty amazing. We've had a lot of success stories with people trying to get pregnant because stress is something that prevents them sometimes from getting pregnant.
It does affect the fertility greatly, yeah.
Yeah, we had a young woman who had serious issues with her blood pressure. It was really bad, and she was on a ton of medication, and her doctor suggested meditation. And now she's off of all of her medication and just doing meditation, and she's totally fine now. We had a guy who was a gold trader, and he literally had panic attacks that brought him into the hospital. He was in the hospital 4 times. He said that they used to roll their eyes at him because it was a panic attack that he was since he came to Unplug. Oh my gosh, there's a guy who got into he was a professional bicyclist, and he got into an accident, was told he would never ride again. And he was sent to us by the UCLA Pain Center because he was so uncomfortable. And he not only stopped his pain, but he's riding again, even though they told him that he would not do that again. And he credits meditation for that. So, I mean, I could go on and on. There's so many incredible stories, and who knows, but these people believe that meditation changed their entire life. And there's a heart surgeon at UCLA, and she always says, stress can kill you, but meditation can save your life because it can actually stop you from allowing stress to kill cells in your body.
To take over. Yeah, exactly. All right. So a lot of great examples of how meditation affected somebody's physical health and also mental health. And I mean, it's amazing. It's really, I'm a big believer that this stress can kill you. And I think, what meditation does is not necessarily, it's not always like direct connection between meditation, but usually like when you start meditating, you are like laying such a great groundwork for all the other amazing positive emotions, you get, like, you become more, you practice gratitude much more, you appreciate the present moment much more.
Right.
You are like, you're worrying less about the things you cannot change and stuff like that, so this is all sort of, the teachings of meditation. So, wow. I expected one story. So you came, you're like, you could tell these stories.
I could tell you 50 more. I mean, about the girl, and I don't suggest this, but we had someone who had severe depression who had been on medication her entire life and is no longer on medication. I don't advise that, to be honest. I'm not a doctor. But really helps people. Addiction. I mean, a ton of addiction story. I could go on and on. And I love it. I feel lucky that I get to A, know these people, and B, be with them as they're transforming, which I feel is such a gift to me in my life. Yeah. I love that I get to do this.
Yeah, I mean, I guess every day you get such a dose of positivity that you don't know where to put it. That's why you're smiling all the time.
Yeah, the funniest part about it is that they thank me, but I'm not the teacher. It's these teachers that show up every day who are phenomenal. I know you had one of them on your show, Ben Decker.
Ben Decker, exactly.
He's an incredible teacher. It's those people that are saving these people, and I just get to watch, which is beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, but it's you're being too modest. I mean, but you created the environment, and like you said, you actually gathered all these amazing teachers. So
I asked the people, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a huge. I mean, without them, nothing would have happened. So, hey guys, I'm making a little pause right here with this conversation with Suze just to ask you a small favor. If you could subscribe and review this podcast, that would be an amazing help for us, because we strive for that. We strive for your opinion and your feedback. This is what helps us to get better. And of course, with every subscription, with every review, our chance of getting more amazing guests like Suze grows, right? So it's a win-win station. So if you get a spare minute, it would be awesome if you subscribe and review this podcast wherever you listen to it. So thank you so much, guys. Lots of amazing stories, but I'm super curious to see or like to know, do you see some patterns between, the people who get the most benefits from meditation, who are the most successful with the practice, is there something they, you see some sort of pattern, what they all do the same, and also on the other side, like for people who are maybe coming once, twice, but they, they don't get it, like they don't connect with the meditation, and they just don't feel it. And do you see some pattern there as well? Like, is there something unites these two groups of people?
Well, I personally believe and know for a fact that meditation works for everyone who's consistent with it. So just like anything else, just like diet, just like exercise, if I worked out every single day, I'd be so tight, right? But I don't. And that means now I'm thinking about liposuction. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm just saying, like, you think about these things. So it's about making a commitment to yourself. I mean, one of the things that I love is we get a lot of people who are older coming here. We first had one woman who was 78. And then she brought two friends, and she brought two friends. And now we have like this whole group of seniors who come here. They're awesome people, but they really say that it's helping them like with memory issues that they were having before. They're feeling much better. Actually, there was a guy who wasn't 78, he was probably in his early 50s, who came to us from his doctor who would never do this. And he had a brain tumor, and he has been feeling great since he's been coming to Unplug. So here's the thing. You make the decision. You either show up for yourself and do it, or you don't. Same thing with diet, same thing with exercise. So what's the pattern? The people who show up and do it see the benefits. The people who don't. That's the pattern I see.
So consistency is key, like in everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, but you mentioned already like the biggest myth, and actually this is also what I'm hearing, I'm discussing with many people, and they're saying like, oh yeah, that's great. I've tried meditation. It's not for me. Like I cannot make my mind shut up. That's usually the number one argument why they think that meditation is not for them. I cannot make my mind shut up. And they just don't go deep enough to understand that this is not the goal. But this is also, okay, like, I listen to myself and I sound a little bit judgmental here. No, I'm like totally fine. No, meditation is, you meditate or not, it's your choice. But what are the biggest myths of meditation? And
Well, let me just address what you just said. Meditation, and you can say this to them because this is the biggest myth, is I can't do it because I think too much. But the more you think in meditation, it's actually better for your brain. It changes your brain. So I like to consider it like a bicep curl for the brain. My friend Light Watkins, I don't know if you know who he is. He's a great teacher here in Los Angeles. He wrote this book called The Inner Gym, which is a great book. And basically what he says is your mind wanders and then you bring it back to that single point. The more you change the structure of your prefrontal cortex, which is where executive decision-making is, focus is, memory is, kindness and compassion is. And you shrink your amygdala. So that's where stress and anxiety and fight or flight are. So the more you think and the more you actively redirect your brain, you then get the remote control to your brain. So like, let's say I notice I'm feeling stressed and then I actively choose to calm myself down with my breath. I'm no longer in that place of stress. So it ends up helping you in many ways. I mean, that's the thing. A lot of people are like one and done. They had a teacher, the teacher turned them off and they're finished with it, which is why we really created the 30-day meditation program on our app. And anyone can sign up on unplug.com. It's so easy. And basically it starts off, day one is like the 16-second meditation led by David G., who's like, and then Ben Decker's on there. All of our incredible teachers are on there teaching these the second day is like a gratitude meditation led by Lauren Ekstrom, who's also an incredible teacher. So all these things, if you're taught by someone who you relate to, you feel comfortable with, simplifies it, makes it easy, inspirational, and fun, you're going to want to practice. But if you're taught by someone who's like, you have to do this way and that way, and if you move, I'm going to hit you with a stick, you're out. So our goal is to just kind of make it really easy and make it fun and simple and make people want to practice every day.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Yeah, exactly. So this is actually where I wanted to, to go next about this app, right? Because I assume that, I mean, you're going to have to tell me if that's true, but I assume that ever since you created this app, you have this tool now to influence a lot more people, right? Because the physical location will always be physical location. You will always be, limited by the size of the room, by the amount of slots there are, and so on, right? And with the app, I mean, that's the beauty of technology. It could be either 1,000 or 10,000 or 1 million people using it, and it's the same kind of on your side, same amount of effort, more or less. So. Right. So how is it going with the app? Where do you see it going? And yeah.
Well, interestingly enough, when I started the app and I went to go promote it, I realized it was like not good enough to promote. So I then took a whole nother year to create the 2.0 version that literally just came out. And then we launched it with this 30-day challenge that actually began today, which is so interesting.
Today, amazing. So that's July 9th, the date we are recording. This episode should go out July 11th. So it'll be at day 3. Yep.
Yeah, but everybody can sign up for it. So we decided to extend it so that whenever you sign up for it, that's when the challenge begins. But we are being seen in 82 countries by thousands of people and being used by thousands of people across the world right now. And that makes me feel great because one, I know that I'm helping people combat stress. I'm like their new stress management tool. I'm helping people with self discovery, with feeling better when they're in pain. But I'm also, on a personal note, able to share these amazing teachers that I've been hoarding to myself here at the studios in Los Angeles and Santa Monica and West Hollywood. You'll be able to meditate with them, where you are, which is like incredible.
Mm-hmm. Amazing, amazing. So that's great. Actually, we also have this 21-day meditation challenge, but this is like so far from I think the quality and the level that you guys are offering. So I think I'll be glad to feature this, on our website. So for people who want the real deal or want to continue after the 21 days. I think that's such an amazing step. I can already imagine go day by day and get these amazing teachers, taking you step by step, starting with the minute you said, right? So tell me, what's the day 30 will look like?
Well, day 30, you'll do a little bit of a longer meditation, and I think it's 15 minutes. We go max out at 15, and you'll really have kind of cultivated a practice for yourself. And on our app, we also have a playlist. So whether you want to continue on, or you can set goals for yourself, or you can create your own playlist. We have over 400 videos and we're constantly changing them and adding more to the mix. So you can then create your own playlist. We even have meditations to help you score higher on your SATs, which is like the high school test you use before you go to college. There's so many different ways to do it.
Amazing. That's awesome. So, what's next for you at the moment? Is it really pushing this app to become the best meditation app out there, or what's next in your plans?
Well, that's one of the goals. I mean, for me, having a studio where you can meditate with real people and real teachers there, I mean, there's nothing like that. So that, to me, just continuing to use our studios like they're kind of think tanks and elevating the experience is definitely something that I'm focused on. I also love the teacher training program. We have this teacher named David G, who leads the teacher training program, and it's an incredible experience. In fact, I was telling you before, we've had people from Switzerland, we've had people from Sweden, London, Canada. We have someone coming from Berlin. So people are coming from all over the world to take this teacher training. So that's something I really care about right now, because the more people doing this and spreading it throughout the world, I really do believe the better the world will be.
Amazing. I believe that too. And, I thank you for taking action, not just, speaking or dreaming about it, but actually taking action. That's the hardest part of doing things and actually being consistent and, committing to it. Like we discussed, that's important to anything else you do. So awesome. Thank you, Suze. And as we are going, slowly to the end, I would love to dedicate the next 10 minutes to kind of reverse engineer what makes you so amazing. And I have this standard set of questions I try to ask everybody, to really understand the specifics of your life, of your lifestyle. So the first, it's really easy. The first question is basically, how does your typical day look like? Walk us through what you do, drink, eat, time you wake up and go to sleep and stuff like that.
Okay. I usually wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's not because I want to, it's just part of who I am. I've always done that since I was a little girl, and I consider it a gift, and I'm able to work in the morning. So I'll meditate first thing in the morning. Then I'll probably spend an hour and a half on my computer answering emails and dealing with all the frogs, which is the worst thing you have to deal with. I try to get that out of the way in the beginning after my beautiful meditation. Then I wake up my 3 sons. I have 3 boys, 16, 14, and 11, and I get them ready for school, drive them to the bus stop, drop them off. Then I go straight to the office and I meet with my team, and we come up with what our strategies are for the day. And then I'll kind of hang out at the front desk and talk to the customers, because for me, that's the funnest part of being here is the people. And then I'll probably go to the other studio because I like to spread myself to both studios. And then I'm working with all the different people in all the different areas. And then I go home. And fortunately, I don't have to cook dinner. I cook less than zero now at this point. I have someone who helps me with that. But I'll sit down and have dinner with all three boys and my husband, and then probably play paddle tennis or go swimming. I try to unplug from everything and be present with my family. And I'll go to bed probably at around 11 o'clock at night.
11 o'clock at night. All right. So 2 questions. So if you go to sleep at 11 and you wake up at 5, so you're sleeping
6 hours,
around 6 hours on average.
Yeah. And I feel good about it.
That's amazing. That's great. I think 6 hours is probably the bare minimum for me. So I'm happy you can make it. But so what's your meditation practice looks like at the moment? Do you use the app, or
I use the app every single morning. So actually right now, because the 30-day challenge has just begun today, I'm actually going to be doing the 30-day challenge with every single person who does it. And we have a private Facebook group, which you should totally join if you do the challenge. So we're kind of hanging out on that Facebook page and talking about how we feel about all these different things. And then sometimes I'll squeeze in a class too. So, I might do like a short little meditation on the app, but then I love the 30 and 45-minute classes here at the studio.
Because you teach classes regularly too, right?
I don't teach.
You don't teach?
I go. I only sub.
You sub. All right.
I sub in case of emergency. That is not my destiny. Was not to be a meditation teacher. My destiny was to study with the best meditation teachers.
That's everybody has their role. Important is that you are I'm pretty sure confident and great sub. That's everybody has their role. Amazing. Exactly. You make it happen. You don't the falls don't think apart. All right, the things don't fall apart. What did I just say? My English is failing me today. Oh my goodness.
You're doing great. It's really good, by the way.
All right, thanks. Appreciate that. So next question. So are you a type of person that likes to plan things in advance? Like you plan what you're going to do tomorrow today, or you actually go to those meetings in the morning with your team and you plan what you're doing today?
Unfortunately, I'm the plan what I do today type.
Why do you say it's unfortunately?
Unfortunately, because I think thinking into the future is super important in planning for it. I try to start with today about how I would like tomorrow to be. I think when we focus on today, we make tomorrow great. But I wish I was more of a planner.
And for waking up, are you a natural wake-upper? I'm already inventing new words. Or are you using an alarm clock?
Natural.
Natural one. All right. So roughly around.
If I was a wake up at an alarm clock, I would set it for later.
Yeah, it's true. You would never do this to yourself, waking up at 5 a.m., right? Got it. And when do you eat your first meal?
At 5 o'clock in the morning. And
all right, so you wake up and...
I'm an eater. I'm not
an eater.
Yeah, I'm someone who loves food. And any kind. I'm not a vegetarian. I'm not a vegan. I tried to be vegish. Once. I did the 30-day vegan challenge, which I loved, by Colleen after seeing that movie, What the Hell? Was great. But after that, I was craving a nice steak. Is that terrible? I try to be caring more about animals, but occasionally.
I don't think it's terrible personally. I think it's if you're making an effort of eating a organic meat and coming from the place where they treat animals really well, I think that's all fine.
Yeah. I'd love to say I am a vegan. I'm vegish, but I'm not. So it's
I guess living in LA and California, it's it is an advantage, right?
Everyone is healthy out here.
Exactly.
But I'm a New Yorker by trade. So.
Right. So you got an excuse. Yeah, but come on. Yeah. New York is still, I guess the trends are pretty similar, no?
I forgot. I like big coffee. So even though I have a lot of energy, I'm always drinking a lot of coffee.
All right, so that was you're answering my next question. I was trying to ask you, do you drink tea or coffee, and how many
I
a
drink
day?
both.
You drink both, all right.
Yeah.
And is that black coffee I just saw?
Yep. It's ice, and I love
Yeah.
it.
All right. So how many cups of coffee you get per day?
I refuse to tell you.
All right. Is that gonna scare me?
Yeah. It would scare me. I'll tell you this. I shouldn't drink as much as I do.
All right. All right. Well, if it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah.
That's the most important part. All right. And besides meditation, is there anything else you do for, unwinding, unplugging, and basically for the mind fitness? Do you journal? Do you visualize? Is there anything else you do?
Well, I consider visualization meditation. I definitely visualize all the time. I manifest. I'm really into manifestation. Gratitude practice anytime I can. I'm constantly grateful for the moment. And you know what? I love to be outside and reading. Like I love reading.
That's
I
amazing.
love it.
We're actually at day 8 of 21-day daily book reading challenge.
Oh wow!
So our challenge is super simple. It's you have to read 10 pages every day, and you should always carry a book with you. So whenever there's a moment, you would have the book next to you. So that's a simple challenge for 21 days. Read 10 pages a day. That's simple, right?
I love that. That's great. I could do that.
All right, awesome. So you should join the challenge.
I should. Where do I join it?
Well, just 21dayhero.com/reading.
Okay.
And you'll find everything there. Actually, all right. I actually forgot to ask you, what's how can we join this private Facebook group? It sounds exciting.
So once you join, you go on unplug.com under the app section, and if you join the 30-day meditation challenge, your first email will give you a link to get to the private Facebook group.
Amazing. All right. So that's clear. And do you do something to keep your body fit? Like do you jog, or do you do any kind of sports?
I like to try different things. So like boot camp has been really fun lately. Like I've been hanging out with this guy who does a lot of boot camp stuff. So that was fun. I like the Total Gym. It's a piece of equipment that's like all in one. I love swimming. I'm lucky because I live in California and I have a pool in my house, so I can swim. So yeah, I kind of mix it up like my meditation.
That's great. That's awesome. And what is the habit you want to develop next?
My next habit would be being more consistent with a workout practice.
And why it's important for you?
Because I think it's important for everyone to move. Yeah. It's so easy to like wake up. I mean, I love meditation. It's so easy. I sit there and I do nothing. And then I come to the office and I'm on my computer and I'm talking to people. But I think it's important to be outside in nature, unplugged and moving. So I'd like to make sure I do that every day. And you heard before, I would love to like just eat healthy, like serious healthy food. There's a woman who you should interview actually. Her name is Elissa Goodman. And
Elissa Goodman, I'm writing this down.
She does like a lot of interesting things. I would love to kind of follow her program more.
All right, cool. I'll check her out. Great. So we have just a couple of more questions, and we're gonna let you go to change more lives of people. And just a very specific kind of question, but a newsletter you don't delete.
Oh wow.
Does that mean you delete a lot of them?
I do.
Yeah.
There's none that I don't delete.
All right, you hit them all out.
I read them and then I move on because my goal is to not kind of. Would love to have a very minimalistic life. I like to clean things out. So the second I get the information, I move on to the next.
Got it. So you like decluttering your.
Are you seeing a newsletter that I follow or a newsletter that I follow and then I don't delete it afterwards?
That was probably more of that, like, yeah, exactly, because like we subscribe usually to so many newsletters voluntarily or not, and then some of them we don't even read, like we delete it. So if I rephrase, what's a newsletter you actually read? Like your favorite newsletter. Okay, let's make it simple.
One of them is, I actually really love Heather Hayward's newsletter. She's a teacher at Unplug, and she writes from the heart. And it just makes you think. And I love her writing. So I read hers all the time. And I also really love Elissa Goodman's.
Got it. All right. So I'll definitely put the link to both of those amazing women. And the last question is a book that changed your life.
A book that changed and that I didn't write.
That you didn't write, yeah. Or actually, I mean, it could be both. It could be both. Tell us a little bit more about your book.
Oh, I've written two. The latest one is Unplug, A Simple Guide to Meditation for Busy Skeptics and Modern Soul Seekers. I love them. I love that book. I love it because not just because I wrote it, but because it has the best tips from all of our teachers. So I love that. And I wrote a book on breakups that I love so much about the guy who dumped me before I met my husband, called Getting Over John Doe. And it's kind of like a joke book. And people love that book. I wrote it in 1999. But the book that I would say changed me the most is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
Yes.
I love that book.
Great book. Got it. Great, Suze. So I'm super, super sad to, kind of slowly say goodbye. but such is this world. We have to cherish what we have and what we get and don't ask for more. So for those who would like to kind of, keep in touch with you, what is the best way?
With me personally or with the brand?
Both.
Okay. On Instagram. I have an Instagram account, unplugmeditation.com, Instagram, and then my Suze Yalof Schwartz Instagram.
Got it. All right. So Instagram it is. I'll put those links everywhere I can. Great, Suze. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your time.
The best way to get in touch with me is Suze at unplugmeditation.com. And the best way to follow my brand is at unplug.com, because then you can see all the different facets of the brand.
Got it. All right. So we actually got even a direct email to you. That's, I think, even more valuable. So thank you for sharing that. So like I said, thank you so much for your time and for sharing your story, and keep inspiring, keep meditating.
Well, thank you for inviting me on your show. I think what you're doing is incredible, and I feel really lucky that you chose me to be a guest. So thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Hey guys, so I hope you enjoyed this episode with Suze. And like I said, apologies for a little bit of the audio glitches, of the internet connection glitches we had. But I think the conversation was awesome. I really felt how genuine and positive Suze is. So I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. And of course, you can find the show notes of this episode by going to 21dayhero.com/Suze. That's Suze. And you'll find all the links, everything what she mentioned right there. Or also, if you're lucky enough, you might find some of the links in the description below if you're watching this on YouTube. All right, guys. So, of course, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That would be super awesome. I will be forever grateful. And for now, I say goodbye, and I wish you an awesome, awesome day.